India, and if in fact the stock comes up on a YTD chart, you will see that the stock has gained around 29% this year itself and is reacting positively to its numbers that came out yesterday. We have with us Mr. Krishna Prasad, the MD of the company, joining in to talk about the quarter gone by. Hi Mr. Prasad, thank you very much for joining in. Can you just take us through how the PFI segment, which is your pharma formulations ingredient segment, as well as your API segment did this quarter in terms of sales?
Out of our total sales, APIs did about 39% and PFIs did 30%. And just to add, FDs also did about 31%. Finished dosages.
Okay. All right. Your margins, however, haven't seemed to have increased year on year, but there was a good 400 basis points push that came in sequentially. What led to the up move sequentially as opposed to a year on year move on the margins?
It's basically a product mix.
Okay.
As we move towards more FDs, there will be a better margin, and also the type of FD or the type of PFI we do. Each product has a different margin. So primarily it is product mix and capacity utilization.
Okay. So Mr. Prasad, good morning. So
Good morning.
Last financial year you did about 1,200 crores of revenue and 95 crore of profit.
That's right.
So if you were to extrapolate your performance, what kind of growth numbers do you think you'll be able to report for this financial year, since you'll have quite a bit of visibility in terms of your numbers?
We think we should do about 20% growth in the normal course.
20% growth for both sales and profit?
In sales and profit could be a little higher than 20%, possibly.
Okay. Also, there's some fund infusion from the promoter group via warrants.
That's right.
What is that for, and how will the proceeds be used?
We had some plans for expansions in the next 2 years, basically for increase in API capacity, also a greenfield venture in APIs, and also for filings of ANDAs. So the requirement is a little more than 250 crores, 300 crores in the next 2 years. So we wanted to go for a QIP, and we actually got a shareholder approval. But meanwhile, I was able to raise some funds, and I thought rather than go through a expensive and tedious process of QIP, I better put in the money, and that's how the warrants were taken.
So has this completed your fundraising activities, and for how long are you buffered?
Whatever we wanted, we took an approval for about 250 crores from the shareholders for QIP. So all that, about 200 crores is coming in now. And that should be enough for our current growth plans.
Okay. Your capacity, which you just expanded in your PFI segment, your pharma formulation ingredient segment,
That's right.
Tell us, is it already approved by the various regulatory authorities? How much is capacity utilization?
We have done all our qualification of different products in this block, and some customers have approved it, and some other customer approvals are in the process. So we will not be able to utilize the full capacity now, but maybe in the next 1.5 years, we should be able to touch almost 80% of this capacity.
Okay. For your PFI segment, we do understand the pharma formulation ingredient segment, you're possibly one of the only global players that do this. So which are the clients that you serve globally as well as in India? And what's the incremental increase that we've seen in client addition in this fiscal or in possibly the last 6 months to a year?
Okay, this is basically, let's go back a little. This was a concept which I personally developed, and this was about 20 years ago. And from 20 years ago, we have come a long way. We do almost like about 400 crores to 500 crores only in this segment. And there's been a constant addition, and the main markets continue to be the emerging markets or semi-regulated markets. Mostly Latin America is a big market for us, Canada is a big market, Europe, and a little bit of US. India, we don't sell much.
Okay.
And we are also doing more in emerging markets nowadays.
Okay. Mr. Prasad, one final question. Your stock has done well, but I was looking at the shareholding pattern. The FII exposure is consistently coming down from 5% to 4%, in the last quarter down to 2.85%. Any particular reason for that? Have you had any chat with the investors in terms of any concerns they would have had?
No, I don't think there is any investor concern. Whoever comes to talk with us go back quite excited, and they continue to be in touch with us. But I really can't answer that question. I don't know what's happening. I'm not market savvy. I don't think I'll be able to do anything.
Okay, fair enough, sir. We leave it on that note. Thank you very much for joining in and talking to us. So that's Granules India for the Nifty. Very quiet at this point. Time for a break now, but we'll focus or